Hello, boys, girls, and bees. I'm Senpai. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be learning about the history of Hatsune Miku. Now, if you have been on my channel recently, then you would know that on this channel, I've been trying to learn about Vocaloid, discover the world of Vocaloid, and I mean, I thought about, which Vocaloid should we learn about more in depth at first? Well, kind of makes sense. The most popular one, the one that, people that aren't necessarily Vocaloid fans know of, which is, of course, Hatsune Miku. We're going to learning about the history, the timeline of Miku in today's video. So yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see what Miku is all about. Every era of Hatsune Miku explained. So yeah, let's check this out and learn about Miku. I'm kind of going into this completely blind. I don't know what the eras of Miku is, so let's check this out.
July 2nd, 2011, Nokia Theater, Los Angeles.
Oh. Do you like a concert? Do any of you guys like fucking mega OGs? And like, I remember this day. I remember 2011. I don't fucking remember 2011. I was like 7 years old. I was 6. I was 6 years old.
This
So
would change the world forever.
damn, I didn't know she was like touring around the
How
world
does this
that
happen?
long.
How does a virtual idol from Japan go from a niche on the internet to a global pop
That's a
icon,
good question.
loved by fans from all over the world?
Good question. Because I don't know. Because what was like what was otaku culture like in 2011? Like I don't think in 2011, like anime fans was like a major thing yet either, right? I don't think there was like a big otaku culture or that idea. I feel like still continued of oh, you would get like bullied for liking anime in high school at that time. I don't particularly know because, like I said, I was like 6 or 5. I was like 5, 6 at the time, so I don't like have a conscious memory of what it was like in 2011.
In this video, I'll be covering the history, cultural impact, and music of Hatsune Miku. And along the way, I'll compile a list of her most iconic songs that in the end should give you an overview of how the scenes evolved throughout the years.
Kind of
This is
interesting.
the entire history of Hatsune Miku.
Whoa. The entire history of Miku? Wow, okay.
Our story starts in 2000 before Miku, Japan. You see, using computers to produce music had become common practice by this point, and Yamaha had created digital instruments of all kinds, except one, the human voice. The Vocaloid project was born, a music production software that allows the user to input lyrics and a melody to make a character sing like an instrument. These characters, or voice banks as they're officially called, are created using the voices of real people. And in November of 2004...
I have heard of this. That as well as there's certain Vocaloids that also like also use like kids' voices and things like that. Like a lot of different kinds of voices that get worked on or that are like used for voice banks or for Vocaloids.
Yamaha, alongside Krypton Future Media, released the first Japanese vocal library, Meiko. It took 2 years for them to release her male counterpart, Kaito.
Oh,
but their initial sales.
So Meiko was before Kaito. So is Meiko like the first like sort of known Vocaloid?
Low. Vocaloid was still new technology, and honestly, it was kind of hard to use. However, this year did see the launch of Nico Nico Doga, which quickly became Japan's #1 video sharing website. It wasn't until 2007, August 31, that Hatsune Miku was released, alongside 01_Ballade, a short song that was included with the software meant to be a tech demo. At the time, its
Oh.
composer, Eiji Hirasawa, didn't think much of it, but unknowingly, he'd made history. Because it didn't take long for Hatsune Miku to become an overnight
Wow.
sensation.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Maybe it's just like something that he was kind of like fiddling around with. But I wonder, like, I wonder what it is, right? Like, what specifically, like, was it just the song? Like, hypothetically, right? Like, if that particular song was done with Meko, would it have blown up as much as how it did with Miku? Like, is some of it as well as Miku's design or her voice being more like appealing? That's kind of what I sort of, question or think about, in the sense of, because it seemed like Meko and Kaido had like a couple solid years, like a while for them to like develop or to have music and works out. And it is interesting that Miku kind of just exploded, and she sort of like brought up like Vocaloids in general. So I do wonder, like, with the question of that, it's like, is it the song itself? Is it the voice? Or is it just like Miku herself? I mean, I feel like it kind of makes sense that maybe, like, if her design's more appealing, I feel like it makes sense, particularly like with Vocaloids, that could play a part
Miku
into
was the
it.
first voice bank made using the Vocaloid 2.0 engine, and she was developed entirely by Krypton. Rather than targeting their product towards professional musicians like Yamaha, Krypton set their sights on amateur producers who uploaded their songs on the internet, and their strategy worked.
That's smart.
Her cute anime vocals alongside her iconic design by illustrator Kate supported her initial sales, and on September...
It's definitely, I think it does play a part. I think Miku's design is just, I think, like, especially like her blue hair, she's very vibrant. Like, when you look at Miku, she's very, like, she's very eye-catching, with like her very long blue hair, her like blue dress. It's very eye-catching. I feel like, I don't know, like, not that Kaido and Meko aren't eye-catching, but I feel like it's that idea of, I think Miku's design is more eye-catching than Meko, and female, like, waifus, like, anime girls, is just more appealing than an anime boy who's just, on average, I would assume is more popular than, like, a male Vocaloid. So then Miku kind of just seems like probably more appealing than the two.
September 19th of 2007, just a few weeks after release, Miku Miku ni Shite Ageru by an anonymous producer named Ika would blow up on Nico Nico. While just 2 weeks ago, Yevon Polka, a Swedish folk song covered by Miku, had become a global meme, making the diva associated with the vegetable leeks, a core aspect of her character to this day.
Damn.
Miku sold 3,000 copies within her first week of release, the same amount Meiko had sold in her first year, blowing every expectation out of the water. However, you might have noticed a trend among the kinds of songs that were getting popular during this time. They were pretty silly songs. Despite Miku's initial success, she was still seen by the majority of the world as a novelty or gimmick, a fun little toy for making silly little...
But you know what? I feel like this makes sense, right? Because if we think about the era that this is, like, 2007, like, 2007, 2008, like, kind of 2007, 2010, like, we've got YouTube, right? And, like, the Duck song, these kind, like, I think the internet in general was kind of like, early, like, YouTube, early sort of like online video content. I think a lot of it was kind of, like, meme skit based. So I think it makes sense, because I think that it's sort of a reflection, not of, like, I don't know if it's like Miku not being taken seriously completely, but I think it's also like a reflection of the internet culture at the time. And I think, like, a lot of early internet like adoptees, and you see like, I don't know exactly. Obviously, I'm looking more at this as like a Western, early YouTube lens. 'Cause I don't know exactly early on, in Nico, what kind of like music for a Japanese audience was sort of like blowing up or well known. But in the lens of like, YouTube and an English speaking audience, there was a lot of like meme based songs on YouTube that really blew up and got really popular. So I think that's sort of a part of it, maybe that as well, like a reflection of like internet culture, right? And early YouTube, early video content was very memey.
Songs. That would all change when Ryo entered the scene in December of 2007 with the song Melt.
Melt. Oh, it's got a very catchy melody.
Melt is still considered by many to be the most important Miku song of all time.
Wow.
And for good reason. The success of Melt opened the world up to the idea that Vocaloid could be a serious tool for musicians, inspiring an entire generation of future Vocaloid producers. A path had been set for Hatsune Miku. The early days of Vocaloid music were characterized by new producers, most of which had zero professional background in music, exploring what Miku and Vocaloid was. Hatsune Miku was just a voice model. Besides what was on
You know what? I also think that's actually really cool. I think that's really amazing that like it's a tool, right? Like I think that people sometimes like, when I sort of learned or like I know, obviously I knew about Miku, I know about Vocaloid as an anime fan, but I didn't quite realize the extent of right. Like it's actually really cool. I think Vocaloid's actually really cool that it's a tool for a lot of people, and you could see like what he was saying about like these producers kind of how like don't have a lot of experience. Like they were able to learn and grow and experiment by using these tools, these voice banks to produce and create music. And I think it's really incredible. I think it's amazing. I think it's really awesome that like producers and people can, use the voice banks of the Vocaloids as a baseline for their art and for their creations. I think it's amazing. I think it's really awesome.
However, there were no guidelines or past examples to draw inspiration from. They were shooting from the hip. Some trailblazers during this time were the Oster Project and KZ, with their breakout songs Vocaloid in Love and Packaged.
Vocaloid
These
in
songs,
Love.
along with Miku Miku ni Shite Ageru, were released within the first month of Miku's existence and set the early model for her personification.
Yeah, you get
What they
in
landed
that
on was simple.
early
Her name was
adoptees.
Hatsune Miku. She loved singing and she loved you. Thus, a superstar was born. Other breakout songs during this era include Electric Angel by Yasuo and Hajimete no Oto by Malo. New producers made names for themselves, and Hatsune Miku was taking over the internet. And then one day, it all disappeared.
What? Disappeared?
You see, Miku had gotten so popular that major search engines like Google and Yahoo flagged the word Miku as spam,
What?
effectively deleting her from the internet.
What? That's
The issue was
crazy.
quickly resolved, but the incident became a major event in Vocaloid history when Cosmo immortalized it in one of the most
why
iconic
did we get
Miku
to
songs
spam?
of all time, The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku.
Oh, that's why it's called the Disappearance Hatsune Miku. That's kind of cool. That makes sense. You know what? I sort of thought that maybe it could have been a reference to. I don't know if this is like actually. 'Cause I think it's before, like it's before this, but it's not that long. I think it wouldn't be that long like before it, but I think consciously a part of me was like, oh, is this like was this name something to do with like the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, like the movie? But I guess that's not what that is. I don't know why I thought that's what it was. Something to do with that.
Launching his career as a producer. In the real world though, Vocaloid's growing popularity only carried over into 2008. Two brand new voice banks,
Yeah,
Kagamine Rin and Len,
Len.
were released by Krypton at the end of 2007 and became instant hits when Torabuta P made Kokoro, a song about the story of an immortal android girl and her creator. Kokoro wasn't the only song with a heavy narrative focus. Mothi's Daughter of Evil series, which would later become the Eviliest Chronicles, were a series of songs with interconnected stories that became
That's
hits
so
during this
cool.
era, also starring the new Vocaloids. Real continued to release banger
I
after
wondered. No, I don't know. Let me know if you guys would like me to see to do a video watching or listening to all those interconnecting type songs, because those songs always seem really cool.
banger with Love is War, Black Rock Shooter,
I
and
love
of
how they're
course,
all
World is
different.
Mine. Some of Miku's most popular songs to this day. Rin and Len were quickly gaining popularity too, with solo bangers like Meltdown by Iroha
Ooh, I haven't heard of all
and
these songs.
Butterfly on Your Right Shoulder by Nori P.
Oh my god, Len! What is this outfit, boy? Damn.
While Kaito
That's
made
kinda
a comeback
slutty
from
outfit,
his initial lack of
damn.
popularity with Cantarella, a duet with
Oh,
Miku by Kurousa P. Meanwhile, Lamas P kept the Vocaloid meme culture alive during this era with
Yeah.
viral songs such as Popipo
Wow, there's some
and Triple
really
Baka.
great songs
The latter featured
so
Kasune
early
Teto,
on.
a fake Vocaloid
Oh,
initially
Teto.
created by fans as an April Fool's joke, who was later turned into a real voice bank using the free software Utau.
I kinda love
Basically the
that.
free alternative to Vocaloid if you couldn't afford it, which, by technicality, makes Teto
I love that culture. It's like it was a meme and then turned into a real thing. I kind of love that. I like that. As in, it's like it's kind of fun. Like it feels like I like the aspect of the Vocaloid community. Seems like it seems kind of fun, and I like that. It's nice. Obviously, there's bad apples in every community, but I like that. Sort of like you could have the serious side, like more serious songs, but at the same time, like embrace the memey kind of songs as well and have fun. And I like that, and it's kind of fun and cool.
an Utaloid, not a Vocaloid, but I've always found the distinction to be silly, so she's gonna be included
Utaloid?
under the Vocaloid umbrella moving forward. Some other notable Miku songs during this era were Saihate, Clover Club by Yu Yu, and of course, Romeo and Cinderella by Toriko.
Oh,
Vocaloid was thriving by the end of 2008.
Wow.
Miku had sold 40,000 units
Damn.
within her first year, while the Kagamine sold 20,000.
Damn.
At the start of 2009, Megurin Luka was
2008,
released and had breakout
that's a
songs
lot.
like Double Lariat by Aguaniki P, Luka Luka Night Fever by the late Sam Free, and Just Be Friends by Dixie
Oh, rest in
Flatline.
peace.
The Krypton 6 were complete.
Wow.
As the end of the decade neared, Vocaloid really felt like it was coming into its own. The community was leveling
Wait, so
up.
what did they say they're called?
Decade neared, Vocaloid, the Krypton 6
The Krypton 6? Oh, I didn't know they had a name, like a group name.
were complete. As the end of the decade neared, Vocaloid really felt like it was
Oh, I
coming
mean,
into
a
its
name,
own.
you
The
know.
community was leveling up in both music and video quality, but its popularity had only just begun. Vocaloid was about to enter its golden age.
Wow.
But before that, a brief interlude. This video has no sponsors, and because of music, it will almost certainly
Yep.
be demonetized,
Yep.
meaning the roughly 2 months of work that went into this video will make $0. So if you want to support what I do and see more high quality long form content like this one, you can directly support me on my Patreon. I'll be setting up a Discord server for patrons soon, as well as some exclusive channel
Yeah,
updates.
subscribe to him, go and support him. This is like an insanely well-made video. Like I can't comprehend how good this video is, like how well done it is. Also, like editing, research, put together. I always, I applaud people when I do these videos. I'm like, go and support them. Please do. I couldn't fucking make a video this well. Like I couldn't do a video that fucking good.
Updates and progress reports on videos I'm working on. It's only $1 a month, and the money would go directly towards enabling me to make these videos long-term and full-time. Link in the description. Back to the
But
video.
also, if you guys want to support me as well, so I can also do videos full time, you guys can subscribe as well. That would mean a lot to me. But go and support my mains.
The early
Kurobo.
2010s were an exciting time to be a Vocaloid fan for a number of reasons. To start, 2010 saw the rise of 3 new producers who would go on to define a whole new era.
Ducker.
Leading the charge was Wawaka, who had
Wawaka?
already made the rounds in
Wawaka?
2009 with Ura Omote Lovers, but on February 14th, 2010, Wawaka became legend with Rolling Girl.
Oh. Wow, it's kind of crazy, like how many like defining things was so early on. I kind of I actually think that's actually like pretty impressive, like how much like defining a really great music was made so early on, and it's like damn, I guess they really like went all out. It's like okay, we see that like there's hype here, we're gonna go like bam, bam, bam with the new Vocaloids. And honestly, pretty base. It makes sense. You should do that, you know? Follow up on the hype.
Not only was his music absolutely fire, he also included topics about bullying and depression in his lyrics, which
Wow.
resonated with his listeners. In July, Deco Nina blew up with
Deco.
Mosaic Roll, which featured the brand new Vocaloid Gumi. Deco
Oh.
was also pretty well known by this point with songs like
So Gumi's pretty been around for a while also, I guess.
Kotoba, but Mosaic Roll showed the world that voice banks outside the Krypton 6 could be popular too. Similarly to Wawaka, his songs had a band-like quality, making use of electric guitars with distortion,
Ooh.
which was rare at this point.
That's kinda
And
sick.
in August, Metroshika was released by a producer by the name of Hachi, but you
Hachi.
might know him better as Kenshi Yonezu. Metroshika blew up with his unique visuals, chaotic lyrics, and alt-rock sound, leading it to be heavily covered on Nico Nico by Utaites. Basically the answer to the question, what would your favorite Vocaloid song sound like if it was sung by a real person? These 3 producers hit the Vocaloid community in 2010 like crack in the 80s. Not only did they get a lot of
You're like cracking the 80s? Whoa.
views, they set trends you'll see again and again moving forward, like professional music videos, wider variety in genres, and the use of new Vocaloids. To top it all off, Miku had her first solo concert in history on 2010, March 9th, Miku Day.
Miku Day? Wow. Yo, this is kind of
39
hype.
could be read like
肉
in Japanese.
Miku.
She'd made smaller appearances at music festivals before, but this was Miku's first standalone concert that used projection technology,
Wow.
bringing the diva to life on stage with a live band. This was obviously a massive deal.
Yeah, that's
Watching the recording of this
revolutionary.
concert is magical and honestly never fails to make me a little emotional, because there's one thing that sets this concert apart from the others that would follow, and that's the fact that the producers of the songs were actually invited on stage to play alongside
That's
the
really
Vocaloids.
awesome.
Imagine how that must have felt
That's
like.
so
Songs they
cool.
probably made in their bedrooms were now being played to a live
Yeah,
audience of
that
thousands.
wow, that's incredible. Wow. I honestly I respect that also. I mean that's really cool in the sense of that shows that the people that put this together also have, respect for the producers and the people that have like made those songs. I like that level of respect. I mean that's really really cool. But I think it's also like it's revolutionary, not for in the sense of like, just for Vocaloid, just like music in general, like performances or concerts. Like this is like a new way for concerts to be done. I mean, that's honestly like revolutionary in that sense as well.
Of people. Culturally in Japan, Miku was spreading too. She was now appearing on TV commercials and partnering with massive brands
Damn.
like Toyota and Family Mart,
Toyota?
while
Whoa.
appearing in Google Chrome ads alongside celebrities like Lady Gaga and Justin
What? That's
Bieber.
crazy.
The Golden Age also gave us one of the funniest commercials of all time.
Once your pizza's delivered, have some fun with Miku.
What?
2010 also saw the release of Project
Once your pizza's done, have some fun with Miku. Whoa, okay, interesting.
Diva, the first Vocaloid rhythm game put into
Ooh.
arcades, increasing Miku's exposure to the general public. Miku was becoming inescapable, appearing on TV, video games, and in real
So
life.
she's becoming more than just like a vocal, she's like an entire brand, you know?
It truly felt like Vocaloid was experiencing a golden age. On the music side, OG producers were going strong while newcomers made the scene feel fresh. Weekly Vocaloid rankings were competitive, and there was always a new hit song to look forward to. World's End Dancehall from Wawaka is still one of the most popular duets to this day. Tell Your World by KZ was featured in the Google Chrome ad, and Sasakure P collabed with Deco to make Sang Q for Miku's 5th birthday. Besides the three pillars, the most notable producers to come out of this era were Pinocchio P with his unique tuning of Miku and fast lyrics, and Giga with his high-energy techno-pop songs. Cosmo made the intense voice of Hatsune Miku, which became an instant classic, while Lamas P released one of the most popular meme songs in Japan of all time,
know this.
Kukireta featuring Teto, which was covered by hundreds of utaites on Nico Nico. This era also saw the release of new Vocaloid voice banks such as Gumi and Iya, popularized by producers like Kemu and Orange
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of Iya before.
Star with 6 Trillion Years and a One Night Story and Night Sky Patrol of Tomorrow, both viral songs. Circus P became the first Western producer to gain popularity in Japan, with his song Insanity in
That's
2011,
cool.
cementing Miku's overseas popularity.
That's
while in the
awesome.
same year, Jin debuted with a series of songs with interconnected stories called the Kagero Project, which would eventually be adapted into a VN, manga, and even an anime in 2014. Of
What?
course,
Wait, that's crazy. Wait, I didn't know about that. Wait, that's insane.
the series of songs with interconnected stories called the Kagero Project, which would eventually be adapted
Should I do a video on this? I feel like I should. Okay, if there's anything in this video that you guys might want me to like check out or do, let me know. But this could be a cool video idea.
into a VN, manga, and even an
But that's crazy. A light novel. So it's like VN, a visual novel, a game.
anime in
But that's crazy. Wow, it's an anime. I've never heard of this anime before. Like that honestly sounds really interesting. I might want to like check that out at some point.
2014. Of course, these weren't the only ones. 40-meter piece Karakuri Piero, Rare Lily's Brain Fluid Explosion Girl, Wonderful Opportunities Remote Controller, Hachioji P's Weekender Girl,
Wow,
Attitude's Brain
so
Revolution
many.
Girl, and Neru's Lost Ones Weeping are all classics to this day. I could go on, but my personal favorite, Michi M, also debuted in this era with Freely Tomorrow, proving to be one of the most talented new producers with his ability to make Miku sing like a real person. As for songs that went viral, Kikuo made one of the most iconic songs to come out of the 21st century. 7 letters, 1 word. Aishite, Aishite, Aishite.
Okay, yeah, alright. I mean, I know, I even know this one.
And Kurousa made one of
These people are, like, these producers are so talented, like, it's crazy. Like, these songs are so, like, got some depth. Like, they're so well made, it's crazy.
the most popular Vocaloid songs of all time, Senbon Zakura. The
I don't know if I've
stage
heard
had been
this song.
set for 2011, July 2nd.
We're only at 2011. Wow.
Mikunopolis.
Holy shit, oh my god, she's a rap god. Yo.
Miku singing in Mikunopolis to a sold-out crowd in the world's entertainment capital of Los Angeles
Wow.
cemented Miku as
That's
a global
crazy.
pop icon.
That's
This
insane.
concert was legendary for so many reasons. Not only was the setlist absolutely insane, but it was the first time Miku performed in America. If you were here, you weren't just hearing Miku sing. You were part of history, and I don't think there will ever be a concert like it.
No.
By the end of 2012, Miku's internet popularity was reaching new heights when Miku Miku ni Shite Ageru became the first Vocaloid song to reach 10 million views on Nico
Wow.
Nico, a monumental accomplishment at the time, becoming the first song to be inducted into the Hall of Myths.
And I know that, like, I guess in like terms now, people would say like, "Oh, well, that's not like an insane number." But this is 2011. Like, 10 million views in 2011? That's crazy. I think that probably to some extent is like as big as getting like 100 million views, just in the extent of how much, like smaller things on the internet, hasn't gotten as big yet. I don't know what it's where like I don't know the internet was at in 2011, but I don't think YouTube like or like the online sphere. I don't know how like evolved it is or video content's consumed, but I think for 2011 that must have been crazy.
The highest honor a Vocaloid song could achieve. The Miku century felt truly unstoppable. But of course, no good thing can last forever.
No.
And like everything else, the golden age eventually had to come to a stop.
No. Oh no.
You see, after the absolute peak of the early to mid 2010s, Vocaloid no longer felt like the hot new thing. In the years to follow, multiple factors would contribute to the fizzling popularity of the former internet sensation. Thankfully not going out with a bang, but a long drawn out period of indifference in the era called the Miku Apocalypse.
Miku Apocalypse?
First of all, pillars of the community were leaving to pursue professional careers in music.
Wow.
The first big name to go was Wawaka, who stepped away from the Vocaloid scene after completing his album in 2011 to form the band Hitori.
That's crazy though, that like from producing Vocaloid, like Vocaloid music, they actually unlocked into real music careers. Props to them for that, like, damn.
In 2012, when he released his final Vocaloid song, Odds and Ends, before transitioning into producing music with human vocals under the name Supercell, having already made the massively popular ending song of Bakemonogatari in 2009. Hachi also stepped away from
Bakemonogatari? Damn.
Vocaloid after releasing Donut Hole in 2013 to focus on his music career as Kenshi Yonezu, who I'm sure needs no introduction.
Yeah.
Even Deco, famous for his...
That's crazy. That's just that's just how fucking talented he is. Holy, like, these people are that, like, just from producing, like, just from their rooms, producing Vocaloid music to full-on successful music careers. Like, that's crazy. Like, all the respect. Like, holy shit, so talented. Damn.
Work ethic and producing bangers at a consistent rate, only released 2 songs in 2015 compared to the 8 in the year prior. For a while, it seemed like our GOAT was washed. The release of Vocaloid V4 at the end of 2014 also dealt a massive blow to community morale when the new engine lacked support for less popular voice banks. This meant smaller producers who'd built their entire discographies around niche Vocaloids were pretty much screwed over.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, I see. That definitely makes sense. I mean, that's a smart thing to do as a producer because, as Vocaloid gets bigger, like, obviously everybody's using Miku. And so in the same way as, things like, creating anything, you're trying to, you're trying to stand out. You're trying to create waves for yourself. And that makes sense, maybe I'll be a specialist on this sort of more niche, smaller Vocaloid. So I get like those like particular niche amount of fans that like this Vocaloid, likes this voice bank. It makes it less accessible. The accessibility of different Vocaloids kind of gets cut off a bit.
I need to quit. It certainly didn't help that the rising popularity of YouTube in Japan was leading traffic away from Nico Nico, the home turf of Vocaloid culture. But most of all, people were simply losing interest. Vocaloid had lost its novelty, and the internet moved on to other interests, leaving only a small group of dedicated fans to keep the community alive.
This is kind of how it is.
It wasn't all bad though. This era did see the rise of some much-needed fresh faces, most notably Nayuda Alien with Alien, Heidi Kiber with Alkali Underachiever, and Inaba Kumori, who primarily used the voice bank Kai Yuki and made Lost Umbrella. Put them in your notes because they'll come up later. Chikuo and Pinocchio P alongside Deco eventually became the new big three of this era, while Maretu and Orange Star kept going strong throughout the mid-2010s, even releasing
some of these names I do not know of.
some huge hits like
I've not heard of.
Daybreak Frontline. The music of this era was marked by
my God, is that
experimentation
Len?
and expanding
Baby
boundaries.
boy.
Songs with edgier and more mature themes became popular. More and more, producers were going outside of Miku's sweet idol persona to embrace darker visuals.
Oh my God.
While producers like
the angst is
explored
real.
new genres such as metal with his song Hyper Reality Show. The Yuta Alien made songs about aliens. Ironically, Vocaloid became more popular in the West during this era too.
Hatsune Miku.
There were new Western producers like Ghost and Creep P, and even mainstream musicians like Porter Robinson used Vocaloid in his music. Crusher P made Echo in 2014, which is still the most viewed English Vocaloid song to this day. Anna Managuchi released Miku, which quickly became a staple intro song in many concerts.
Oh my God.
Speaking of celebrities, massive J-pop artists today like Eve, Nabuna from
Wow.
Yorishika, and Ayase from YOASOBI all got their starts as indie Vocaloid producers during this era.
Okay.
2015 also marked the beginning of a classic song being inducted into the Hall of Myth every year, starting with Melt, then
What's
Zenbonzak
the whole myth? Is that just like some kind of I don't know.
Metroshika, Mosaic Roll, and World's End Dance Hall. It's also worth noting that Miku Expo had a very successful tour across North America in 2016, introducing the Song Contest, which gave amateur producers a chance to have their songs featured in the concerts.
That's awesome. That's actually really awesome. I love that.
Won in 2016 with 10,000 stars, becoming a big moment for Western producers. Magical Mirai, Miku's flagship concert in Japan, was also held every year throughout this era with a lot of success. In retrospect, maybe this era of Vocaloid wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, but in comparison to the Golden Age, it was hard not to feel like Vocaloid was a shell of its former self, slowly bleeding relevance, going back to a niche genre only few dedicated fans
So it sounds like maybe, what is it? Maybe the Western world, or like the West or the English-speaking audience that kind of maybe got into Vocaloid a bit later on, or it kind of became bigger or more mainstream for an English-speaking audience or a Western audience outside of Japan later on. Is that what probably like revived Vocaloid or has kept it sort of going?
All of
I guess
these
we'll
sentiments
see.
came to a head when Hachi returned to Miku one last time in the 2017 song Sand Planet.
Damn, this video is fucking sick though. This video is so sick.
The song had a fully animated music video where Hachi depicts the Vocaloid community as a barren desert, and a group of masked survivors with instruments on their backs are following Miku to an unknown destination.
That's what it is. Like, that's awesome. I kind of fucking love like Mad Max, kind of like Waste in Land.
This makes multiple references to iconic Vocaloid songs like Melt, Mosaic Roll, and World's End Dance Hall, while Miku calls out for survivors to come out to make sure they don't leave behind any regrets. I think Sand Planet is a poignant reflection of the state of the Vocaloid community in 2017, though it did land Hachi in some drama with other producers, most notably Kurage P, who felt offended that one of the most influential
What does this say?
Vocaloid producers of all time would depict the scene as a barren wasteland, especially when there were still passionate producers making music. But
I can see what it says. Sand Planet's not going to change anything. To take it back a little, since you don't think the Vocaloid scene is declining, what would you say is appealing about the scene as of late? I don't feel like much has really changed since back then. Both then and now, new people arrive and continue to create interesting works. Listening to Hachi-san's Sand Planet and reading the interview he had with Ryo-san, I honestly got super angry at what they talked about, like the relic linking Nico Nico to an already obsolete desert. Yes, I was fuming. Like, how can someone who hasn't been in the scene for years suddenly come back and talk like he knows anything? Putting myself aside, you're going to say Balloon and Bina, Olin Star, the people who have supported the scene in these years are just sad. Also, since that song was posted more, people have become aware of the talk of Vocaloid's decline that was discussed only moderately in 2014, and I worry that it's planted a cursed seed in many people to think that Vocaloid is out of date. I see, but eventually I sorted out my feelings and concluded it's not like that song's going to change anything. I said before, the Vocaloid scene hasn't changed much to this day. Vocaloid as something anyone can try simply by buying the software has an unwavering acceptance of those who come to it and has led to the creation of many fantastic songs, even when people said it was in decline. So I believe interesting people still appear and the scene will carry on without issue. For 10 years, Vocaloid has been strictly rejected by those who dislike it. So I can't imagine some outsiders saying its odd hat now will have an effect on the quality of songs. Well, but if its public image worsens, maybe fewer people will be able to make major debuts. I think he does make a good point here, in the sense of, I think what is not going to kill or never kill Vocaloid is the gateway into creating music, into being able to create things, and that I think is one of the strongest things that Vocaloid has to keep people making music and to keep new blood and new producers coming, which is, like he said, the easy gateway into creating it, and it's kind of what I think made some of those people really, big in the first place. I feel like it's kind of I feel like I kind of can get both perspectives. I feel like I can sort of relate to this guy or this person in the sense of I definitely understand the perspective of when somebody sort of moves away from something and just comes back and is like how do you know what's going on when you haven't been directly involved for so long? You're gonna come back here and you're gonna say that it's like a wasteland. You're gonna say that Vocaloid is like this now when I've been, or like when we have a community of people or other artists. I mean, I don't know if I would think that. I don't think Sand Planet was like it sounds like like he kind of feels like maybe that this song was disrespecting some of their works, or saying that but what about all of these works and all these songs that have come out in those coming years? You're gonna say that they're sort of like nothing because they're sand? I don't think that that's what they probably were intending to make like other producers feel. Like I hope not. I don't think that's probably what the perspective or the idea would have been, but it's kind of minute. People have different perspectives, but I think that's sort of why I think Vocaloid is cool, in the sense of people can have this very open platform in having like Miku and these tools to be able to share songs and visions of their own perspectives on things, right? And I think anybody's open to their own perspective. So it's like, I'm not one to say, who's wrong or whatever. I'm just saying like, yeah, you know what? I can get it from both sides,
Barren wasteland, especially when there were still passionate producers making music. But I don't think Hachi ever meant for his song to be a funeral,
I don't
but
think
rather
so.
a call to action. Hachi wanted fans and producers to hear his song and come out to prove him wrong, to prove that Vocaloid
it's like
was
motivator,
still alive
yeah.
and well. And miraculously, they did.
You know what? Yeah, I think that's sort of. I think that might be because it's like in the video it's like Miku's like gathering the troops, right? It's not like Miku's by herself watching something like sort of wither away. It's like she's getting ready for battle. She's creating an army, and I sort of feel like it feels like with that video on that sense, it's more so like, hey, we're rebuilding, we're fighting, we're coming out to fight. And so I think that's sort of, yeah, I think I kind of feel like I agree that it's like a motivator, right? It's the idea of, yeah, show me wrong, show me that the Vocaloid community or that Vocaloid is alive, is kicking, or you guys make it alive, like make it grow even more, you know? It should be motivation, not something to deter you to making more songs.
As if to answer the call, several things would happen at the height of the Miku Apocalypse that put Miku back on the grid. Starting in 2016, when Deco Nina made a comeback to the Vocaloid scene with Ghost Rule.
Oh, that's a great song.
This song blew up, but more importantly, showed us a brand new version of Deco we'd never heard before. Our GOAT was back. In the same year, Ryo made The Name of Sin using Miku for the first time in 4 years. And in 2017, Wawaka returned to give his final gift to the Vocaloid community, Unknown Mother Goose, before his tragic passing in 2019.
Oh, he passed away? Oh, rest in peace. Damn, well, let's rest in peace to him then. Oh shit, what just happened? Yeah, rest in peace to him. Oh, it's sad. That's you know, it's always sad when some like really some really amazing, really creative people sadly, of course, pass away. But I think it's always like nice in the sense of like that they live on in their work. Like they have a legacy, or they kind of left a mark on the world with their art and with their work. They live on in their music that they produced,
Thank you, Wawaka. Your song saved and inspired thousands.
Yeah, rest in peace. Should I check out some of their songs? Let me know. Let me know when we do a Wawaka video. '87. Wow, they were. Oh, that's damn. They're pretty young. They were not. They were down. They're pretty young as well. Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Moment of silence. So I don't want to sound like I was not like serious. I mean like I'll give a moment of silence. Rest in peace to him. It's so sad when people die pretty young, How is he 32? You see, it was only 32 down. That's really young, Rest in peace. That's sad.
The return of Vocaloid's 4 most influential producers would eventually trigger its revitalization, but the renaissance didn't truly begin until 2020, with the launch of Project Sekai.
Oh, Project Sekai is only 5 years old. Damn.
A mobile rhythm gacha game and the spiritual successor of the Project Diva series. Though receptions on the actual game are mixed,
What did it say? Why?
Successor of the Project Diva series.
Why do Vocaloid fandom hate Project Sekai so much? I'm a Vocaloid fan. Fan is a big word because I don't know too much about it.
On the actual
and I
game.
became one off to have started to play Project Sekai. However, every time I'm on that sub, just with any Vocaloid fan, I feel like I don't belong because everyone is always hating on Project Sekai and its players. So why do you all hate that game so much?
Are mixed. Its launch brought several OG producers out of retirement to write original songs for the game,
That's
bringing
awesome.
in new and old fans alike, breathing new life into the Vocaloid community with the power of gambling. But the renaissance had only just begun.
Gotcha.
2020 and the pandemic saw a shift in popular
Right,
culture in
makes
general.
sense, yeah.
Anime was becoming more mainstream,
Yeah,
and the meteoric
exactly.
rise of VTubers
Exactly,
on YouTube introduced a Taite culture to
Hey,
a
it's me, it's a VTuber. I mean, right here. Yeah.
whole new audience. Hololife's cover of Fukireta having almost 50 million views alone. The fall off of Nico Nico
I
and the
think
shift
I
to
think the whole live cover is how I first heard that song.
YouTube was starting to show its merits too. The sheer size of YouTube allowed over 300 Vocaloid songs to reach the coveted 10 million views milestone
Wow,
compared to Nico
300.
Nico's 25,
Damn.
making it easier than ever for new artists to be discovered. On top of that, 2020 saw the rise of a new internet platform juggernaut,
Oh,
TikTok.
the Tic Tac.
In 2022,
not
a
the
trend on
Tic Tac.
TikTok pushed Goodbye Sengen by Chinozo, featuring Flower to be the first Vocaloid song to reach 100 million views on a
Wow,
single platform.
that's crazy.
Setting a new bar which had never been possible before. The Hall of Immortality. On the music side of things, Kairiki Bear and Inaba Kumori felt like they were reaching their full potential, with their most popular songs, Venom, which featured the new Vocaloid Flower, and Lag Train. This era saw its wave of newcomers too. Hiragi Kirai, Shuro, and Kanaria all helped bring new fans into the community with songs like Love Ka, Bitter Choco Decoration,
Oh.
and King.
Okay. Oh my God, King. I think, I swear to God, King might be one of like the most covered Vocaloid songs, especially like VTubers. I like every VTuber on the planet covered King.
Covered by tons of popular singers and VTubers. If you couldn't tell by now, the hot new Vocaloid of this era was Flower, and many producers jump-started their careers using her. Meanwhile, the OGs were back to releasing career-defining bangers like Goddish from Pinocchio P and Gimme Gimme by Hachioji P and Giga,
Yeah.
and Deco. Following Ghost Rule in 2016, the GOAT went on a generational run that hasn't ended to this day. Hibana, Otome Dissection, Vampire, Salamander,
Damn.
and finally, Rabbit Hole
Oh,
in
yeah,
2023
okay,
would
yeah,
go
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
viral.
Of course, yes. Rabbit Hole.
This mix of
boom.
new and OG producers consistently releasing hit songs brought back that feeling of being a Vocaloid fan during the golden age. The feeling was only amplified by Project Voltage in 2023, a collaboration between Hatsune Miku and the biggest
Yeah, I need to check this out. Let me know. Would you guys want me to do a video checking out all of the Project Voltage songs?
video game franchise in the world. Not only did this bring your favorite producers together to make Pokemon-themed songs, it also
That is
started a
so
massive
sick.
art trend on Twitter, with artists drawing fan art of the different types of
Oh,
Mikus
that's
as
so
well as imagining their
awesome.
own.
That's
This,
so
coupled with
cool.
the Brazilian Miku trend in 2024, helped Miku return to the public eye.
That's
2024 was a great year for Miku. With the end of the lockdown, she returned to tour the world in Miku Expo 2024, which had some controversy due to the use of LED screens in Expo
What is it?
2024, which had some
What the fuck went so wrong with Miku Expo 2024? Vocaloid events have been happening for 15 years, and Miku Expo isn't new either. They know how many tickets will sell and that everyone wants to buy a light stick. They know that people come for the hologram. Any theories on what suddenly changed so that suddenly these decade-old events are now like some first-time amateur convention?
controversy
Damn.
due to the use of LED screens instead of holograms,
Damn, is that a hologram?
but the sold out
That is
tickets
holy shit, that screen is tiny.
some controversy due to the use of LED screens
What the fuck?
instead of holograms.
Yo, that
but
screen is tiny. Holy shit,
the
that's a
sold out
tiny ass
tickets
screen.
were physical proof that
What the fuck?
Vocaloid was back. The winner of this Expo song contest was Magical Cure Love Shot by Sawtone, which felt like a blast to the past of classic Vocaloid Denpa songs and gave us Miku Miku Beam. 2024 was also the year of viral songs. In April, Crusher P entered the Hall of Immortality when Echo hit 100 million views. In July, Shinamota's Young Girl A became the third immortal song, having gone viral on TikTok a year prior. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace, Shinamota.
Kikuo's Aishite 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 became the first Miku song to hit 100 million views. And just a day later, Yukopi's Kyofu All Black, which had become a massive meme, also
oh my god,
entered
I remember seeing all the people covers. But yeah, it seems like also a particular thing. It's like it's very much like the animations, it's like the dances, you know, good for TikToks and shorts, you know.
the Hall of Immortality. Finally, April 27th. Mesmerizer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Written by Satsuki and animated by Channel Castation, the song features Miku and Teto with her new immaculate synth-free vocals and blew up in ways we'd never seen before. Mesmerizer hit 100 million views in just 7 months, becoming the fastest
That's
growing
crazy. 7 months? That's insane.
Vocaloid song in history. A character made as an April Fool's joke
What made it so popular?
was now in the Vocaloid Hall of Immortality, a feat only 5
That
other
is
songs have
crazy.
ever achieved. It can't be understated how much Teto's boom contributed to the revitalization of Vocaloid. Tetori's Override and Hitomania all came out within the last 2 years and are sitting at over 50 million views each.
Damn.
And recently,
that is
smaller
crazy. Like, just started off as a meme. Like, that's like a crazy arc, you know? Like, that's like an arc in story, you know? This started off as a meme, you know, but became legend, became like fucking on the very top. Let me know though. I should do a Teto video. Teto video might come soon.
producers like Jamie P have been making some awesome works. It really feels like the era of Teto is here.
Damn.
I think it's also a really cool coincidence that every entry in the Hall of Immortality features a different Vocaloid, sort of representing the different voice banks that became popular during each era. But throughout the years, Miku has always stayed number 1. So yeah, it wasn't until pretty recently that Miku entered her renaissance. Now she's being added to Fortnite, appearing at Coachella and selling out concerts.
Wait, she was at Coachella?
No signs of stopping. In 2025, there's been a Miku movie released in theaters, and of course, Deco dropped another banger. It really feels like we're experiencing a second golden age of Miku, and I really hope it doesn't slow down anytime soon. The songs I mentioned in this video are obviously just the ones I believed had the most cultural impact on Vocaloid. It would be impossible to list every good song in a single video, and I still left out a lot of popular songs, so if there's any songs you think should have made the list, please leave it down below. I'd love it if the comment section for this video could be a place where people can discover new music. You might have noticed I didn't spend too much time speaking about any one producer in particular, and that's because Vocaloid has and always will be a fandom driven by the community. Through all of its ups and downs, it's always been the community leading the charge, the producers, artists, and fans keeping the culture alive with their love and passion, always finding new ways of evolving and reinventing itself. And I think that's what's so special about Miku and Vocaloid as a whole.
That's awesome,
It's a community that anyone can contribute to, where artists without any professional background or training are given a chance to make a name for themselves. Miku has given voice to countless artists whose passion and creativity would have otherwise gone unsung.
Yeah, exactly.
So to end this video, there's only one thing left for me to say. Thank you.
What does that mean?
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video.
Oh my god, the Miku
Big
skin.
thank you to Vocastats, whose videos I referenced a lot as I was doing research for this. I honestly don't know if it would have been possible without the work they've put in. I linked their channel in the description, so please.
Base, oh my god, Vocastats mention again, but this fucking shows, okay? Vocastats, what they do is amazing, okay? That was just before some people being like, hey, you're just re-uploading songs. Like, no, they fucking do work.
Go check them out if you want to discover even more Vocaloid music. If you enjoyed this video, consider checking out the Patreon, where for just $1 you can directly support what I do. But with that, thank you so much for watching,
But
and I'll see you.
Okay. But okay, oh my god, this was okay. I go and support Koro Bro. I hope I'm not mispronouncing their name. But holy shit, this is an incredible video. Such an amazing, amazingly done video. I don't watch a lot of videos, you know, where I feel like you watch like a video essay, right? Like you watch like a history video, a video essay, because there's so many video essays now where I felt the passion. Like I feel like I genuinely watched this and I could feel that this is something that is a work of passion or love for the medium, for the community, and I think that's amazing. Like I feel like I felt, you know, yeah, I felt from the way that he made this video, from the way he talked in his commentary. Like, I felt like it's like, oh no, this guy is passionate about Vocaloid and the communities. He's passionate about Miku and you know, like what they're talking about in this video. So like big shout out to him. Definitely do go and subscribe to him. Like incredible video, like amazing video. Like I just like always say this, like the people like Focus Stats or this guy, I could not fucking do this, okay? I could not make a video as fucking incredible as this. Like the research, the editing, everything incredible. But anyway, yeah, I'm like really in awe. I feel like every video I watch and I learn about Vocaloid, I'm kind of like, you know, really taken aback, and I feel like I have a new appreciation for you know, the medium when I learn even more about it. I think it's a really interesting, intriguing, amazing community. And, you know, when I've been making these Vocaloid videos as well, the community have been very nice to me, giving me information, teaching me and helping me as well. So I do really appreciate the community in that sense as well. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments if there's any information, if there's anything you'd like to let me know. I hope that you guys aren't a bit like, ooh, because I did try to, like, you know, I wanted to talk and have conversations. You know, I like when I absorb things or watching things, actually have conversations and talk and, you know, talk about my opinions on things. So that's why, you know, I do pause. Okay, I'm sorry that I do pause. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If there's any information you guys like to tell me, definitely let me know. And let me know if there's any thing from this video that you might want me to make videos of as well. Checking out different songs or videos, things like that. If you guys would like to see more Vocaloid content on this channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button, liking the video, showing my video. I am trying to, you know, make this a full-time gig as well. So you guys don't have to pay anything. Just liking the video, just showing the video, just clicking that subscribe button, hitting that subscribe button you haven't, helps me out so much to help this channel grow. That's my dream, for this channel to grow. We're trying to hit 40k subs by the end of the year, so if you'd like to help me in reaching that goal, it would mean the world to me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun learning about the timeline of Hatsune Miku today, and if you guys would like to see me learn more about Vocaloid, the world about Vocaloid, then yeah, you guys can stick around. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!